Game number 3 is getting underway right now. It's a best-of-3 series at this point. We're going to find out who's able to take advantage in this one. Dog versus SjoW. Game number 3 is getting underway.
Shoe on head or pre-recorded.
Yeah, that's Freeze Mage at this point. You know, I think this is part of the reason why he's been playing this Mage deck in a row like this, is that he wanted to walk Dog into this spot. I'm sorry, he wanted to walk SjoW into this spot, but SjoW picked up on this.
Yeah, you just have to say the walk the dog thing. It's too hard not to say that.
It's so difficult not to.
And yeah, this is a pretty rough matchup for Freeze Mage most of the time.
Now, that being said, he does have 2 of the very key spells in his hand with Emperor and Archmage right now.
Oh man, they're being all serious and stuff of real decks this game. What's going on?
Well, you know, we haven't seen the full thing yet. But again, these are 2 of the key spells in this deck, is the Emperor Thorson and the Archmage Antonidas. If he gets enough spells with this combo, and SjoW isn't able to kill the Archmage Antonidas, that's where you see the big swing in the game.
Yeah, this is actually the way that Freeze Mage can win this matchup. You have to be really aggressive, get an Emperor out there, and to try to end the game before it goes too long, because the Warrior deck just gains so much armor that it can push you way out of a life total that they can never kill you. Now, there is something to be said here. SjoW and Zalae are pretty good friends, right? So if SjoW is playing Zalae's build of Patron Warrior, his matchup against Freeze Mage is actually way worse than normal because he will not have Armor Smith in his deck. Zalae has not been playing them lately.
There's something else to talk about in this match too. You know, we saw players playing this one. An alternative game plan to this one was quite literally run your opponent out of cards.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times. If you can stay alive long enough and you kill their 4 threats that they have in their deck, you can fatigue them out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. This match can get absolutely crazy, and it all depends on how their draws pan out.
The Warrior deck has to be very careful with their Battle Rages and their cantrips like Slam. You can't draw too many extra cards. And then Dog's in, the Freeze Mage deck, they have to be careful on how much damage they can take and keeping track of every single card that's gone out of SjoW's deck because they have to know what they have to play around in the last couple turns.
Yeah, I mean, Dog talked about not wanting to make tedious changes to decks. This match is about as tedious as it could possibly get.
Unless someone gets really blown out here the next 2 turns, settle in, boys. We're in for a long one.
Yep.
Yeah, you might see SjoW cycle this for 1 card here, knowing that he doesn't want more value from this.
Yeah, again, drawing too many cards is a liability.
It's actually bad.
Which is funny because there's like almost no other card game where that's the case. It's super rare that ever comes up in something like Magic, for instance.
Yeah, well, you just die when you can't draw the extra cards in that game. But yeah,
you
it
also
almost
have 60
never
cards
happens.
in your deck.
Yeah, you have twice as many. Yeah. It's a lot harder to get through your whole deck when it's twice as big.
Yeah, so just going to be focusing on armor up for now.
Yeah, that's what he needs to be focusing up in this game. Focusing on in this game.
Dog just going to play this Doomsayer here. This is strictly a tempo-oriented play right now. With a Frostbolt in his hand and he has the coin, Emperor Thorson on turn 6, not terribly unlikely, I'd say.
We saw this from Purple as well early in the season. If you can get an Execute for this card, you're actually not unhappy about that. In fact, it's actually pretty good for you most of the time because then it means maybe an Alex Straza or an Archmage Antonidas can stick around for an extra turn if you can find the right board state to play it on.
That's the other thing too, is that we talk about how much Dog has had to track everything that's happening. SjoW has to be very careful with his resources too. If he overcommits to anything, suddenly he does not have the resources to get the job done.
And he finds a way to actually take care of this without using the Execute here, which is pretty good for him. Just keep the status quo here, keep things moving.
Either way, it still feels like a pretty darn good Emperor turn. But we've seen players hold on to this over and over again. Maybe this isn't the turn to unleash it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things working here if he doesn't want to use it or not, but it depends on... Dog's doing a lot of counting right now. He's trying to figure out how fast he can kill him with Archmage, because he can go like Archmage into Coin, into Frostbolt in 1 turn, and all of a sudden the entire game is on the line.
Yeah, so Emperor is what it's going to be. And again, SjoW's in a spot where he doesn't necessarily want to use his Executes right now.
Okay, well, there's an Armor Smith as well, so he's playing kind of the stock build of this.
Yeah, good recognition here from SjoW, and I actually think he's pretty likely to hold on to these Armor Smiths for quite a while. One of the big ways I think he gets out of reach is just dropping 2 of them at the same time and using whirlwind effects.
Yeah, I think he's going to hold on to them until he actually has one of the Frothing Berserker, Warsong Commander turns, which he's actually building a hand towards right now anyway. So he's going to have one of those turns where he gains 5 or 7 armor in a turn instead of only getting 1 or 2 out of it.
Yeah, Dog's going to be able to buy himself plenty of time, though, and plenty of cards at the same time. His hand's already stocked full, but,
Hey, bro, I heard you like drawing cards.
Yeah, so we put some card draw in your card draws. So
yeah, that's what this match does,
so
bro.
you can draw cards while you draw cards. And Ice Barrier is going to protect him a little bit. This is an opportunity, though. SjoW can burn a card here. Is that where his mind's at?
If you burn the right one out of these decks, it can be crippling. But you've already seen Emperor out of Dog, so there's only a couple left. Like if you get his Alexstrasza or you get his Archmage Antonidas, you might be able to win the game on the spot.
Yeah, he's looking at his Armor Smith turns right now. I mean, this, again, would be such a big swing in the armor total. You know, is it worth it right now, though? You know, can you get more later on is more important.
Like watching these players play this match, this is a treat for me because they're both so good and they both understand this matchup so well that you're going to see them plan 9 turns ahead of time. You know, when Purple won this match from the Freeze Mage side, I talked to him about it afterwards, and he said he knew on turn 7 that he was going to win on turn 18 because he had already done the math on the fatigue. He looked at the decks on that turn, did the math real quick, knew where all the math was going to be and how much damage he had left in his deck.
That's just crazy.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
Yep, so 2 Armor Smiths plus a Whirlwind.
Yep, here we go. Is this going to burn a card?
Yeah, this will burn a card from Dog, but he's already got Alexstrasza, he's already got Archmage Antonidas in his hand. So Ice Lances, super important right now. Fireballs, Frost Bolts, that sort of thing. You know, anytime he burns like a Blizzard or a Frost Nova.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, those cards, yeah.
That one's not too terribly important.
And here we go. He's going to pounce because he's going to get a lot of fireballs here.
Yeah, this is the turn for him.
Yep, he's going to completely freeze all of everything that SjoW has here. This game just got real.
Yeah, SjoW happens to have Enrage in his hand, so can't activate the Execute. But this is the kind of play that Dog was looking for, was SjoW has to have this combination of cards.
And not just that, I mean, he can just Alexstrasza him next turn to deal 13 damage, and then he just has 3 fireballs in his hand. Yeah,
that's another point, too, is, you know, he can't just push for enough damage at a certain point.
Now, do you get the Frothing Berserker in play when you do this?
Well, Warsong Commander, Frothing Berserker, Unstable Ghoul, 3, 6, 8, 9 with the Execute. You know, you gain a ton of armor in the meantime.
SjoW had a match earlier today where he was playing with this deck, and I watched him do, I think, 49 points of damage in 1 turn. He said the 2 Frothing Berserker, like, you know, he got someone to fatigue, let them fatigue for like 3 turns, and then double Frothing Berserkered them to win against like a control warrior that had just gained armor every turn of the game.
Thanks, Warsong Commander.
Yep.
So SjoW really taking his time on this one. You know, is this a turn where you Whirlwind? He thinks no.
I mean, that card is just so valuable. It's unbelievable how valuable Whirlwind is, but...
Yeah, I'm just going to armor up and consider playing Unstable Ghoul, but it looks like his better sense... Oh, no, he has played Unstable Ghoul. That's going to hit the board. So, believes that just having any number of cards on board that are rather expendable to pad its life total, that's where he wants to be right now.
And Dog can't pass up this good of a Flame Strike, I think.
No, I don't think so either. This is just too much.
Mad Scientist, you know, yeah, you can get some damage in with it, but you have both your secrets out right now. But again, you're not going to be attacked anytime soon.
Yeah, why not play it? You know, there's no ice barriers left. When the second ice block hits, it's likely going to have to be drawn or played.
Yeah.
So up to 24 armor, a mere 24.
Yeah, and this life total it's not unreachable for Dog. I mean, again, he can take 13 points of health off of him with an Alexstrasza, and then, I mean, this game's going to go to fatigue, most likely.
Yeah, I think it's pretty darn likely to at this point. You know, I don't think these fireballs are coming out of hand anytime soon. You're both players at very high life totals.
Yeah, there is going to be a point where Dog is going to just start fireballing SjoW just to get cards out of his hand, because, you know, he has to keep, here we go, he has to keep the Frostbolt for utility with Ice Lances later. You know, he doesn't really want to Arcane Intellect because he's going to draw the cards anyway, and you don't want to get the fatigue faster. You want to hold on to the anti-heal bot to get the full heal out of it, you know, and then Blizzard and Alexstrasza just aren't good yet. So just fireball away.
Yeah, just keep your hand size under control, and make sure you keep shredding armor. You do have to get through his life at some point.
And you see SjoW is understanding this as well. Now, you might start to, you know, make a board state here. You've seen some Flame Strikes, you've seen some Doomsayers, you have 2 Grim Patrons, you can make a few this turn. How many can Dog deal with? You know, because if you get any extra damage, it's pretty big. But he also knows that if he attacks Dog ever, he gains 8 life. So if he attacks Dog with, like, you know, the Death Spite here, he has to make sure that he gets in extra damage. So that's why you're seeing Armor Up go. They're both settling in for the long game here.
Yeah, it's going to start with Arcane Intellect.
Kind of surprised he played that, but...
That's probably going to be the last card draw he plays this game. I think he's just trying to get as much information as he possibly can.
Yeah, and he actually has a Pyroblast in his deck, too. So, all right, you probably will not see Dog play a spell that deals damage to SjoW that will go beyond his armor total.
That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, he's going to probably hold on to anything after that, so he can Alexstrasza him and then just get the full amount in.
Yeah, this is the turn SjoW was looking for.
Yeah, he needed something to be able to attack. Now he's guaranteed to get some damage in. He's guaranteed to get in quite a bit here as well. He's going to be able to negate the secret.
Do you use the Death Bite this turn? I feel like you hold on to it.
Yeah, it's possible that you hold on to it.
You only gain extra health in your Grim Patron. Very key draw from Dog.
Yeah, Blood Mage Sonos, not a bad one. I mean, he's out of non-real fireballs. He still has 2 natural ones left in his deck. Those were the 3 fireballs that he got from, Archmage Antonidas. Those are 3 free shots.
Gosh, is Blood Mage Blizzard the best turn you have right now? Like, is this the turn you need to take even?
It's about exposing your Blood Mage, because here's the thing. If you do that, and you Frostbolt Ice Lance to make sure that it can't be attacked, it's 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, yeah, you can actually do that. Does he take extra damage that way? Every point might count, and you don't want to go over his armor total when you have an Alexstrasza.
Yeah, that's really the big point here, is that he needs the value from the Alexstrasza first. So doesn't care about the extra damage that he could take right now.
Yeah, Shield Slam can make easy work of this as well. So
now,
does he want to put a Frothing Berserker into play?
Well, here's the thing. Is 2 Frothing Berserkers enough to actually provide...
to pop this block?
Yes.
Well, if he's going to do it this way, then he's not playing the Frothing Berserkers this turn. Maybe he's holding on to those for, the last push into Dog late in the game.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
If he pops the block at 1, yeah, he can kill him.
Yeah, if he goes into fatigue while he's at 1, he's dead no matter what. It doesn't matter if he has a nice block up or not. It doesn't pop on your turn.
This game is so tight on how you play this. It's like you're seeing a real skill and mastery of these 2 decks, because any person who makes a mistake here, it's going to lose you the game.
Yeah. You can see Dog counting up. This is so much to count too. His deck has fewer cards in it right now.
Yeah, he's hoping to get one of the fireballs as well.
He's facing pressure.
Do you just Frost Nova?
I'm thinking you just Pyroblast.
Yeah, you might just Frost Nova just to save it, but like
do you have another turn where you can squeeze in this 10 mana card?
That's actually a really good point. I think it might just be Pyroblast here, but Dog's thinking on so many levels here right now on so many different turns.
Yeah, he's gonna go for it right now. This is about the safest turn he's gonna have for it.
Show's down to 16 here. He's out of Armor Smiths as well. Well, there's the other Warsong Commander, so he can start to do some shenanigans over and over again here.
Yeah, he has to start armoring up as well. Like, he cannot miss another armor this turn, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to armor up every turn for the rest of the game, I'm pretty sure, unless it kills Dog.
Yeah. Which I think this is the turn I think he's counting on these Frothing Berserkers. He knows that if Dog's gonna Pyroblast here, it's very likely that he's in for a lot of trouble at this point. Yeah, so he has to get something done.
That was the first natural burn spell besides an earlier Frostbolt that we've seen from Dog, so there's still all the natural cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Nothing that has been added by Archmage Antonidas. Man, we're seeing that like the really good players of Freeze Mage can win these matchups against Warrior.
Yeah, it's definitely winnable, and especially against a deck that isn't going to run Shield Maiden in it.
Yeah, because that card's a nightmare.
Yeah, you could tell he's trying to figure out what calculation to go for it here.
He's got to hurry up.
Yeah, now it's getting a little bit scary, and he knows that this is a problem. He waited a little bit too long here. Very unlikely to finish all these animations and have the correct calculation for this.
Yeah, he's queuing up attacks right now. All right, these attacks are probably getting in.
That's the thing with this deck. You cannot take this much time if you're gonna make these plays. You have to squeeze in the damage while you can.
Yeah, the last 3 even he gets in all the attacks here, but it only brings Dog down to 3.
Which is a big problem at this point. I mean, if Dog sweeps this board...
And he's going to.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hold on. Fireball.
16 is what he's got, I think.
Well, 4, 7, 11. Yeah, he's just short, yeah.
But, I mean, Blood Mage Blizzard is going to wipe this out, and then SjoW is missing a lot of damage at this point.
Yeah, does he want to put his Blood Mage into play, though? He could just Frost Nova. Does he need the extra damage?
I think he does.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him Frostbolt and Ice Lance this turn, too, because it actually just protects the Blood Mage as much as possible as well.
Yep.
Or is he just going to get the 7 in that way?
He doesn't have the mana for that.
Oh, yeah. Well, this gives you more damage anyway. If you Frostbolt and Ice Lance, you get an extra damage.
Yep.
Again, this plays around weapons as well.
So, I mean, SjoW, not a comfortable life total, sitting at 9 right now. But he's got the reload in his hand to take care of some of this.
Yeah, a little late to the party.
Yeah, he's a little bit late.
Always fashionably late. Yeah, this Whirlwind going to get a little extra value here, too. Not only does it kill the Blood Mage Thanos, it makes Dog draw an extra card.
Yeah, I think he's just going to run over it with the Grim Patron.
Well, I'm saying if he Whirlwinds here as well, yeah.
He's got to armor up. He's at 9. Like, this is getting scary. You need all the armor you can. It's not going to be enough. SjoW going to be able to pop this Ice Block, but Dog, with 2 Fireballs drawn, able to close this game out. You know, Grim Patron is a warrior deck, but again, it doesn't have the same dedication to armor that some of the other decks have.
Yeah, when you don't have Shield Block and Shield Maiden, because Shield Maiden is so good against the Freeze Mage decks. It's a 5/5 that gains 5 life, so it's actually a threat as well.
Yeah, SjoW, you can see a little bit upset by this one. Dog, though, takes a 2-1 lead. This is still an uphill battle, in my opinion.
I agree.
But the bigger story here is that SjoW, on the Grim Patron turn, he could have popped that Ice Block and instead waited a little bit too long for animations. And this is something like, I don't want to hammer players for this, but we've seen it for months now. You have to get the animations in time. You have to know that this is the case. Stop taking 55, 60 seconds to think about how the math works out. This is something you need to calculate ahead of time. If that means writing it down and having a flow chart to the side of you while you play, that's totally fine. Don't lose a game because you couldn't force something from your opponent.